Now, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, that is IEBC, now says it is premature to start debating about the boundaries review exercise. According to Commissioner Professor Abdi Guliye, census will have to be conducted first to pave way for the review based on population statistics. He says that the boundaries review exercise can be held latest 2024. The Commissioner was speaking during a meeting between the Commission and editors from various media outlets.
By law, the boundaries review is a key process, and this I can say for sure will require a lot of public consultation and public engagement. So unless IEBC steps out to really engage the public, again, we'll be running into the same challenges and problems. Controversies will spin because politicians are out there defending their partisan interests.
We are enhancing our communications department, and we believe with time they will play a complementary role to some of these initiatives that we have undertaken to make information available to the citizens. We have a lot of debate about boundary in 2018. And as IEBC, we're asking ourselves, why are people talking about boundaries? And yet, the legal process of the mandate has not commenced yet. In effect, we've not even had our census, which is one of the main data that is used in this process, and it's slated for 2019, August.
Now, the country has in recent days been locked in a fierce debate on the need and criteria to reduce the number of elective seats as a strategy to cut on the public wage bill. Now, but how possible is this suggestion, and what obstacles stand in the way of such a referendum question? Should the ongoing debate to amend the 2010 Constitution bear fruits? Our political affairs reporter, Murimi Mwangi, interrogates.
With 600,000 endorsements so far to his famous Punguza Mzigo initiative, aiming to slash combined number of senators and members of parliament to only 147 from the current 416, Third Way Alliance leader Dr. Ekuru Aukot is only 400,000 signatures, shy of getting electoral body IEBC's nod to kickstart a major referendum process,
where now the ward becomes a unit of development with that money going to the wards. Okay, so that is the reason why this referendum really cannot be stopped.
But just how easy is it to axe out any of the 290 constituencies? Well, Article 89, subsection 2 of the Constitution mandates IEBC to review constituency boundaries at intervals of 8 years. This review is slated for next year, after population census by the National Bureau of Statistics. But the hue and cry that engulfed Parliament in September this year, after IEBC's disclosure that the review could alter boundaries of 27 constituencies, gives a hint of how emotive the subject is.
The complications and the issues that resulted in us having the number of counties that we have, having the constituencies and the wards that we have, were very complex and emotive. And they are not issues you can wish away. Most certainly, you can never wish them away without involving politicians.
What value is actually coming from the political class? And maybe this is a question you can ask Otende Amola again. What can he say is the value that's coming from his parliament today? Because I can tell you, Kenyans do not think much of our parliamentarians currently.
We just need to think how we can sort out our economy, because there are so many ways of sorting out our economy without collapsing some constituencies or some counties, because that's a route that we are bound to fail. Are they so bad to waste 12 billion, like Chepkati said, holding a referendum that is bound to fail?
And it is presented.
But arguably the greatest headache to the referendum proponents hoping to include counties on the chopping board are the legal and political hurdles that stand in likely merger of any of the 47 counties. Article 255 subsection 1 lists as mandatory for referendum any amendment seeking to alter structure of devolved units. Both National Assembly and Senate and each of the 47 county assemblies are critical stakeholders in the formulation of the final referendum question.
I've seen many people saying, oh, reduce the counties from 47 to 8 or something.
like 10 or 15, whatever that is, you'll be telling all the county assemblies across the country, over 40 or so, to vote to dissolve themselves. It will be impossible.
What is the rationale of not putting Kisumu, Homa Bay, Siaya into one county? They take care of the economies of scale of fishing. This question must not be pushed by the leaders, because leaders will come out selfish. Leaders will start fighting. It will be chaotic.
Nevertheless, all eyes remain on the Statistics Bureau ahead of the census and IEBC's boundaries review,
before Parliament wants,
which analysts argue will be critical in bringing closure to this debate. Murimi Mwangi, KTN News, Nairobi.